Recording live from the Northeast Georgia Business RadioX studio. This is Northeast Georgia Business Radio. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Northeast Georgia Business Radio. I'm your host, Tom Sheldon. And yeah, we're coming to you live from the beautiful Empower College and Career Center of Jackson County. Got with me two cool guests. I know all my guests are cool, but these guys really are. And what they're doing around town here is just flat out awesome. Let's just call it what it is. I have with me Andrew Seaver and Rick Baum of TruVista Communications. Gentlemen, welcome to the Northeast studio. How are you?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having us.
I am fantastic. TruVista Communications. What is going on? What is TruVista Communications?
So broadband is definitely an important part of everyday life, and certainly the pandemic highlighted that. TruVista is one of those companies that wants to be your internet service provider across
So we're
Jackson
talking
County.
internet here.
We are.
Nice. Okay.
We are a traditional ISP, internet service provider, about 126 years of history. We started as a small telephone company in rural South Carolina and have grown across South Carolina and Georgia to include more than 18 counties.
I was going to say, welcome to Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been in Georgia about 10, 11 years. We started our first, activity into Georgia started with Northland Communication acquisition back, I believe, and that was 2011, 2012, and started our office up there in Toccoa, and since have made some efforts through federal grant money and the Rural Digital Opportunity Fund to come down in here to Jackson County, and now, of course, have our commerce office over on Bolton Drive.
You actually have a physical office. You have a storefront.
We do. It's across from the old hospital there on 15 Bolton Drive. It's a retail office.
Is that odd for an internet company?
It definitely is unique. It's certainly.
I shouldn't say odd. That means it's weird. No, unique. Unique's a better word. My apologies.
Yeah, it's definitely unique in that most providers similar to us aren't opening retail stores in the way that we are.
I've never seen one.
Again, a lot of folks are starting to close them, and a lot of our competitors are doing the same, but we value our community, and we measure a lot of our success off of that community success. So we feel like putting our roots down, showing that we're not going anywhere and that we're going to have an office here. And certainly is definitely generational change that's coming, but we still think that that's a good, when you're in a community and you're a piece of it, people want to see faces to it, not just have phone calls when they've got issues. Right, Rick?
I think that's what really makes us different, right? We've been in the business for over 125 years, so we have the experience. We're expanding into new areas like North Georgia and South Georgia, so we can bring that experience, but we're sort of gone the opposite way of some of the other providers. All of our support is in Georgia and South Carolina. You're not going to call to get people outside of those two states or outside of the country.
That is welcoming.
We have local offices. You want to come see us, you can come see us. If you want to call us, we're available. You can get to know the people in the offices. We retain our employees. They stay with us for a long period of time.
Nice.
So they get to know the customers, and you don't see that very often anymore.
No, absolutely not. So, Rick, how do you play into this? Now, Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong, you're community relations more or less.
Correct, and I do have a business development role only because I'm in and amongst the community and then roll that to our business and residential teams. But yeah, Rick and I support each other and certainly are the hands and feet here in Jackson County on the community side.
Now, Rick, how do you play into this? What is your role?
I am the Director of Market Development for North Georgia.
Okay.
I came over actually a year ago. I've been here for a year at TruVista, spent 30-some years at a large provider, reinvigorated with how this is the way it was done 30 years ago, right?
Absolutely.
Really focused on the customer, focused on the local presence, and really delivering really good service, right? It's the days of answering the phone quickly and having a technician out there quickly if you do have an issue, or installing you on the day we say we're going to install you. In a lot of areas, that's not the norm anymore, and we want to make that the norm again. As far as market development, I really focused on three different things. I go out throughout North Georgia and look for opportunities for us to expand our fiber network. We not only provide internet, but we provide phone service, TV, and security services as well. So we're a full service provider.
Right.
So I'm out there trying to build relationships with builders, developers, the zoning departments, HOAs, the Board of Realtors. We recently joined as an affiliate member, just trying to make those connections in the community. And I can tell you in the last 12 months, just the repeat business I get from builders that we've worked with that were refreshing, because what we focus on is, even with the builders, right, is communication, and we do what we say we're going to do, which is puts us high on their list for repeat business, right? Because most of these builders and developers are building more than one community and more than one at the same time, usually. So they're looking for people like us that are local. They can call us if they run into an issue. We prefer to get in there and get out before they even start building homes, so we don't interrupt them while they're putting in sidewalks and driveways and things like that. But that's really what I'm focused on. One is finding those new opportunities. It could be a new build subdivision, apartment complex, townhomes, or it could be an existing underserved community or neighborhood, right? It might be a neighborhood that only has access to slow-speed DSL, and we can take them from 10 meg DSL to 1 gig internet, fiber internet service, which is night and day for people out there that use the internet.
Yeah, is it ever?
So that's one thing I focus on. The other two things I focus on are communication throughout the construction process. Let's say we determine we want to build into your neighborhood. Once we approve that internally and we start the permitting process with the city or the county, I want to make sure residents know we're coming and what it's going to look like. Because I know in my neighborhood, I wasn't told the provider was coming, and you looked out your window and there were people in your yard digging with shovels. You're like, what's going on? I put together a whole communication process around door hangers before we ever come out and put a shovel in the ground to tell you we're coming. I put together presentations where I go out to the HOA and offer to meet with the community, because I don't want anybody to be surprised, because it is a process where you have to dig holes, you have to use a compressor and what we call a missile crew to push it underground. We don't trench your whole yard.
Underground, right?
We don't trench your whole yard. And then we want to show them the care we take, because we put tarps on the ground, we take the dirt out of their hole in their yard, we put it on the tarp, we carefully section out the sod if they have a sod
Save
yard.
that sod.
We save the sod, and then once we get our, you see the big rolls of orange conduit that drive around town, that's typically going to be fiber conduit. So once we put that through, we put the dirt back, and we try to restore the sod to like it was before we were ever there.
Sod can be hardy. Just give it enough water. Just give it enough
Typically
water.
30 days. If it rains a few times, you can't even hardly tell we were there.
Right. No, I'm with you on that. Hey, listen, if you mess a man's sod up, you might you just leave town. Just saying. This reminds me of a true grassroots, I hate to say campaign, it's a business, but really this is grassroots. The two of you are going out and building relationships in the community.
We're really trying to look at it from, if we were the customer, if we were the resident.
That's very nice. That's very refreshing. I have memories back to when I was a kid, back when cable TV became a thing, and there was actually a building in town. It was the cable company, XYZ. You could go pay your bill. You could order service. You could discontinue service. Remember the old converter boxes?
Yep.
You might have to go drop one off, get your deposit back. What you're doing really reminds me of this.
We try to make TruVista accessible however you want to meet with us. We have an online site. If you want to order online, you can do that. If you want to come see us in person, we can do that. You want to call us, we can do that. So we're trying to be available however the customer or the resident wants to.
That's going to go a long way in this part of the woods. I will tell you that right now. I've been here a long time. I understand that. Do you think, and this is not a fair question, do you think there may be multiple storefronts one day? Possibly?
We'd love to see it as well, the opportunities and the buildings that we're doing across Jackson County as far as new builds and new premises and businesses that will be allowed to have our internet. Let's hope to grow that enough that we need another one. We certainly are open to that. Yeah,
I love it. So you're saying there's a chance.
There's always a chance.
There's a chance.
You always take a chance.
We do spend a lot of our effort here in Jackson County. I mean, across 18 counties in Georgia and 4 in South Carolina, this is certainly our single largest investment at the moment, and our board supports us to do so. And we think that Jackson County certainly is a little bit behind as far as the service providers that are here, and we certainly want to be a piece of that solution, because we certainly know that it kind of connects the outside world, connects Atlanta to Jackson County, and you don't have to travel with that terrible commute down 85 and whatever that may be. And
that is true.
Also keeps congestion down, right? There's a lot of things that broadband does that allows opportunities, but we just want to offer that to Jackson County and be a community partner in that we're not just going to come and grab the high enterprise clients and not serve the residents, because we know that those folks working here need a place to live and they need internet at home as well. So that's what we pride ourselves on.
That's one of the things we're focused on. We don't only serve subdivisions, but we serve houses all along the route. So
that's nice to know too.
We may build them out of your subdivision, but we hit every home along that route as well.
Because there's a lot of that out here.
Yeah,
there really is. It is frustrating when you see the big municipal building or maybe a big warehouse, and they have what is a T1 line that's like really fast, and everyone else is just above dial-up. Mm-hmm. But that's common up here. I've been here 25 years. I can say that.
It is. Yeah.
It's frustrating.
It's very frustrating, and that's part.
Sometimes vulgarity comes out.
Agreed, and that's why I think the federal government and the state government have stepped up to kind of incentivize some of those companies to use those investments that they've already made to help the residential piece of it, because frankly, that's not TruVista's model. We've always valued our success off of the community, but some of those other providers certainly, like you said, come and grab the big industrial clients, and it would be as easy as a couple 100 feet of cable to a home that is unserved or underserved, right? But until there's free money, they really don't care. So
they don't have to.
They're taking some opportunities when they're allowed them, and like you said, they don't have to.
They don't have to.
I think the real game changer is we're bringing what used to be city level technology to people in the rural communities, right?
Well, it's needed.
Their service will be every bit as good as anything you can get in Atlanta or anywhere else in the country.
And it should be. No, it should be. Now, you said something about fiber. You run fiber lines,
Fiber
cables?
is our technology, and there's multiple benefits to using fiber. First, it gives you the fastest speeds.
That's nice.
It's the most reliable service. If you think about copper, right? Heat and cold make copper change, right?
Oh, my does it.
Fiber, no problem.
Really?
You think of things like latency, right? People think of bandwidth as the most important thing with their internet connectivity, but also latency is hugely important.
Now, what is that?
That is how fast your response is actually, your response to the internet receives a response back, right?
Okay.
So if you have very low latency, it means you're getting instant connectivity to the network or to the internet and back to you.
Okay.
So that's a huge benefit.
No
of
lag
fiber.
time.
Yeah, lag time. There you go.
Would be a lot of buffering, absolutely.
Buffering and lag time, okay.
And the difference is it also gets us set up for the future, right? With the existing fiber that we have in the ground, we could we're offering 1 gig now. I could see us doing 8 or 10 gig in the future with really nothing we would have to come out and do at the residence in the yard or the community to upgrade that
Fiber's that important.
The platform that we're building out can sustain that and grow to that type of speed.
If a company's not using fiber, what are they using? A copper line? Like a coax?
Coax?
They could be using coax.
That was big in the 80s.
DSL copper.
That was really big in the 80s. Yeah.
Some are trying the wireless connectivity, but you know how that is with your phone. Are you going to work from home and rely on wireless connectivity? That's challenging.
Yeah, that's a
fiber scalable is what it is, right?
Yeah, satellite's another challenging. It works and it doesn't work. The way I look at it is we have the best technology, and it's best not only for today but for 5 or 10 years from now as well. So
those number of devices continue to grow at home, right? And that's not slowing down each day. It's only increasing. So from your garage door opener to your thermostat, everything is run off of your broadband. So the need is only increasing, and it's certainly not diminishing. So fiber allows us to scale and allows, like Rick said, very minimal investment to keep up with those paces for the next 5, 10, 15 years.
I don't want to give trade secrets away, but how do you go from you're providing 1 and now in the future maybe 8 to 10? Do I even want to go down? Is that going to blow my mind if you try to tell me? It probably will.
It's really the platform that it's on. The actual fiber itself is capable of those speeds today. It's really the platform that you feed the fiber into that drives that.
I got you.
And then some equipment that you stack on top of that amplifies it. But yeah, it's very easy to scale it to what's needed once that solid backbone is there, which is what the fiber is.
If you think of it today, there's very few homes that need 8 or 10 gigabit of internet connectivity today. But 5 or 10 years from now, who knows?
You might, yeah.
If you think about it 20 years ago, right? If you lived in an area that had 3 meg DSL, you were in a booming, highly technologically advanced area.
Oh, yeah.
Today, 3 meg doesn't even let you stream TV.
Right.
So who knows 5 or 10 years from now? My guess is we will build into that, right? We're going to have the capacity. Now technology will take care of filling that up.
Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break, a little segue. Because, here at Northeast Georgia Business RadioX, we have some great community partners. One of our great community partners is the Green Insurance Group. Everyone has different insurance needs. Call Nick and his team today for a personalized assessment and find out how they can help protect you and your hard-earned assets. With years of insurance experience helping clients prepare for the unknown, they can help with a personalized business or individual assessment that can save money now and headaches later. Home, auto, fire, commercial, life, and much more. Visit greeninsurancegroup.net for all the details. That's green with an E, insurancegroup.net for all your insurance needs. And while you're at it, visit our new website, negabrx.com, to see all our great community partners. Guys, you still there?
We are still here.
You didn't run off on me? Hey, you got to pay the bills, man.
That's right.
got to pay the bills. No, big shout out to Nick Green and his crew at Green Insurance Group. They're a great community partner, a good friend of mine. And they like taking headaches away. It sounds like putting fiber in the ground is going to take some headaches away.
Absolutely.
I like it.
That's the hope. Absolutely.
So you're just going to build a web of fiber, pun intended, all over Northeast Georgia. Man, let's do it. I'll help dig. I'm serious.
That is our plan. Continue to expand.
All.
It's really a success-based process, right? Jackson County is a target-rich area with, like I said earlier, new build subdivisions and apartment and townhome complexes.
What are we, the third fastest growing in the state right now, and Barrow is fifth, I think? Sorry to cut you off there.
No, that's
keep that thought.
That's all good stuff. But that's our goal, right? Continue to expand our network. We have connectivity from Toccoa, Livonia, Commerce, Jefferson, Nicholson, Brazelton, Houston, and we want to continue to expand off that footprint.
So you're headed up to Toccoa. That's good news.
We're already there. Yep.
Are you really?
Yep.
We're already there.
You're already there.
Yep.
I'm probably going to end up somewhere up that way one day. Clarksville,
it is beautiful
Toccoa.
Up there.
I love it up there. The wife has family up there, so they'll let an outsider in. Thank goodness.
Definitely beats Atlanta traffic, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The views that you get to as you're coming up 441 or 129.
It's not even Atlanta. It's the G word. That traffic is bad enough.
Yeah.
So where are we going in the future? I'm glad you're in Jackson County. I'm so glad you're in Jackson County. But where are we going?
We're going to continue to build out here and hopefully expand into neighboring counties as well. We're already in Rabun, Stevens, Banks, Jackson, Franklin, and we're into parts of Madison already.
Okay.
And I think we've covered, by the end of this year, we'll cover about 10,000 addresses here in Jackson County.
Nice.
I have been working on next year's plan and already have almost 6,000 more addresses identified.
All right.
Opportunities
Wow.
for fiber deployment.
Right.
So I expect that number to grow even further.
I would be surprised if it didn't.
Residents, how would they know we're bringing fiber to their address? First, if they see any of my construction material, a door hanger on their door, or a TruVista mailer notifying that we're coming to their neighborhood, that's really the first notice that we give that we're coming. Once we do deploy the fiber, we make sure they know when it's go live time and they can pre-order ahead of time. We allow our residents to pre-order up to 60 days in advance so they can plan ahead if they're switching providers. But we try to give plenty of notice. We will do the normal marketing things, the direct mail and things like that as well. But I don't know of any potential customers who don't get notified ahead of time that we're there or that we're coming.
Is there a rough estimate of time from when neighborhoods, residents, they start seeing the flyers, get them in the mail? You may see something on the door. When you start seeing that, is it a year away, 6 months away? That's not a fair question. Is there a rough estimate?
I would say we're in the 90 to 120 day window when they first get my door hanger.
3-4 months.
Because we go through permitting, and it depends on how long the permitting process takes. But we can usually do the construction, let's say a 100-home subdivision. We can usually knock out a 100-home subdivision in a few weeks.
Oh, really?
And then we pull the fiber and splice, and then
so it does take some
connect
time.
it to the network. Yeah,
it does take some
time. I'd say 90 to 120 days once they see us coming.
Once they know who you are a little bit.
Yep.
And then they start seeing your trucks and your vans more often. That's a good thing.
Connect.TruVista.net is another good source that we use. We kind of call it our crowd fiber. If you aren't aware of where TruVista's at or want to be aware of what's going on, and if there's anything beyond that 90-day to 120-day window that Rick just mentioned, this keeps them in the loop as a way to understand when TruVista's coming, if it's a build 6, 8, 10 months down the road. So
that's good to know.
That web page is always a good spot to go to stay up to date about what TruVista's building and whether those builds would impact you. And then, of course, Rick and I are always across the communities attending chamber events, wherever it may be. We're always here to have a conversation about where there's a need, and if we can make it work and we can get it through the business cases to our board, then that's absolutely what we're here to do. So we like to use a all-hands approach, and anybody who wants to offer some information about what's going on or what's needed, that's certainly what we're here to help accomplish.
Now, what was that website again?
Connect.TruVista.net.
Connect.TruVista.net?
.net.
.net. Awesome. We're going to have a link to that on our website as well, so people can find that, because that's important. Hey, listen, there have been other communication companies, internet, whatever they are, who will, I hate to say this, if I insult somebody, oh well, they blow into town, they want all these orders, and they're taking people's money. And then 3 months goes by, 6 months goes by, and then a year later, it's like, where did these guys go? We never saw them. But they're holding people's money. That's not what TruVista's doing.
Not at all. We certainly value, again, the community that we all live and work in, the communities that we're serving. So we've got to interact with those folks on a weekly basis, whether it be at the grocery store, across town, whatever it may be. A lot of our folks live in these territories, so we certainly wouldn't want to do that to our family, to our neighbors, and that's not certainly how we want to approach our business either.
But the core of the business has been around, what'd you say, 125 years?
26 years. Yep.
So
1897, exactly. And we've been in those rural communities ever since. And that's, again, where we value our success. So
you're focusing on a lot of country.
Exactly. The rural territory is absolutely, the non-metro is much more of our business model, and certainly places where there's not a lot of opportunity for other options, whether that be one provider or one provider in satellite. We certainly prioritize those communities and know that there's a need there and work to get there to help, again, be a piece of that puzzle.
I see that as a huge commitment on TruVista's part. Because, well, let's put it this way. You go out in the woods, let's just call it what it is. You go out in the woods, you may see a house every quarter mile for a little while, and then boom, there's a development. You go to some of the larger counties south of us, you go a quarter mile, and you have 4 developments.
Density. Yep.
10 times the houses.
Exactly.
So, quite honestly, for you guys to pull off what you're doing, there's a lot of miles to cover. That's a huge commitment.
Oh, yeah.
To me.
Our focus is to be here for the long term. We're funding these builds.
You're going to have to be.
For example, I'm working with I mentioned earlier, a lot of developers. We fund those projects 100%. The developer, the builder, doesn't contribute anything. We pay for all of the facilities that we put into those subdivisions. Our belief is if we provide the best service, which is through fiber, which is the best technology, and we back that up with local support and just great customer service, we think that'll make the difference, right? Because we're betting on a high penetration rate. If there's 200 homes and there's one other competitor in that neighborhood, we're hoping we get 80% of those residents to sign up for us.
No, I'm with you.
That's our goal.
Hey, if you can back it up, my friend, good news will spread just as quick as bad, especially when it comes to internet service.
Agreed.
And Jackson County's leadership has been great to work with. We've done a number of things with the county, with the cities, the mayors, all of the above. We certainly can't say that. I want to be sure to point that out. We certainly can't say that about all the communities that we serve. We definitely don't see the support and certainly don't have the understanding of, in this case, that the high tide will rise all boats. So when we're successful, it makes constituents have better opportunities, more competition leads to lower pricing, all the things that go along with that. So we certainly want to continue to be a piece of that.
Now, gentlemen, we've been going for almost 25 minutes. What did we leave out? I'm going to give you guys the last word. And I know we could talk about this for probably a couple hours, to be honest with you. I love the fact you guys are in town. I truly do. And the fact that you aren't just some startup who is hoping to get lucky and get enough people to sign up. Man, I really love that. We've seen that. We've had enough of that. I give you the last word. What do we need to talk about before we get out of here?
I think from my perspective, what does TruVista mean to maybe a Jackson County resident who's never heard of us before? I think of experience, I think of the best-in-class technology, and I think of great customer service. If those are what you're looking for in a provider, and being local, we're that.
Yeah, I would echo what Rick and what you said earlier, Tom, is that we aren't that fly-by-night company that's just trying to make it on a whim. We have the support and the need and the want to be a piece of the solution and continue to make Jackson County a good place to do business, to live and to work, and all the things that we all want for that quality of life. And certainly know that as more people come, they certainly bring a lot of their differences, but we certainly know that internet allows for a little bit less of that, and certainly an opportunity to be successful in the partnership with the communities.
Good deal. Give the website one more time.
The CrowdFiber website is connect.truvista.net.
And then there's also just truvista.net.
Correct. That will show you our range of services. We do, of course, offer residential and business services, and as Rick said earlier, we offer the full range of internet, voice, cable, security, and more.
I love it. Now, social media?
We are on all the social media sites, I believe. Just looking up TruVista, I believe we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. LinkedIn as well. So go give us a look and see if you want to learn some more. Come find us at a chamber event or the opportunity to come see us at our office over on Bolton Drive.
Nice. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
I know you're super busy getting all the schedules worked out. I know that took a little bit, but I appreciate it. They're going to play my music any second now. There it is. Means I got to wrap up. Folks, hey, check out TruVista.net. They're doing some really good stuff for the community, and I think it's going to actually get even better. I'm Tom Sheldon. We'll talk to you soon.